Hey everyone, are you here? Are you even here? I am. Game starts in 2 minutes. Let's get ready. Got some sleeping Dobermans behind me. All tucked in, nicely, comfortably asleep. Definitely won't be a disturbance. Hey Bite, welcome to the stream. Let's get YouTube up here so I can see Buffy. There he is, Buffy. Only one person watching. Yeah, that's not gonna last, brother. That was just you being first. You're on the ball. You were there when I posted the link. Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Got my enticing turkey up in the corner, letting me know what we're all playing for here. As soon as this match is over, I get to go over to Mrs. Kong's sister's place for a giant, delicious turkey dinner. So you know that I am ready and motivated for a short match. If anyone is planning on betting on this match, you have about -1 seconds left to get your betting in. You know my philosophy, I think betting on the finals is not a good bet. The odds are just too close, and the actual, strength of the competitors is too close to make it a decent enough bet. If I thought one of these players was going to blow out the other player, then that would be an easier bet. Or if I thought it was going to be fairly close, but the betting odds were heavily in favor of one player, then that could be a big payout. But as it is, this is just two really strong teams going up against each other. So, I mean, who's going to win is anyone's guess. The last time these two players faced off in the finals was Season 15 with Q coming out on top. So, I mean, hey, Buffy, any payout is better than no payout, right? Jayden has won the season championship since that defeat to Q, but it wasn't against Q. I think it was against Wayne Wren in Season 16? So, that said, maybe Jayden still has something to fight for here, something to prove. He can get a win against a player who has previously defeated him in the finals. Could be one motivating storyline for this match. Revenge time for Jayden and the rest of the 7th Heaven clan. For his part, Q went back-to-back-to-back several seasons ago before dropping out for the Jayden Wayne Wren stretch that just happened in the last couple of seasons. So Q's motivation here might be reclaiming the crown and proving himself as the undisputed Apex Arena champion. Michael in the YouTube chat went with Jayden this time, but not sure he got any of his bets right previously this season, so maybe that's a good thermometer for how successful that bet's going to be. Creamy not looking super impressed with the identical box comps. Well, you know, once we get to this level in the finals with, the way that these teams play their accounts, that's when you're going to see, what the meta for the season actually means. Very rarely do you see any kind of, interesting or off-meta tilted boxes right in the finals. That's why I kind of think that, earlier in the playoffs is really interesting to watch and play, because then you have people doing weird things, because either they have nothing to lose, or, they're just interesting players. But these guys want to win this. They want to have their name carved on the next Apex Arena champion skin. So, Autorun got eliminated actually a few rounds ago at Kuto by Meow Sensei. Yeah, that said, his pilot may be in the mix here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly who these two guys have in their employ or in their backseat camps. Can't say for sure, don't really know what's going on behind the scenes there. But yeah, Autorun has been in the mix, like in the seed level ranks, top 16 for the past few seasons, but has been getting eliminated. No Autorun champ for a while. So both players are here. That means we don't have to worry about a finals forfeit, which would be just awful. And we're going to get to see who's going to be player 1 and what map we get. Hey, Disco, welcome to the stream. Once a few more people join and say hello, we're actually going to have chat coverage over my delicious and tantalizing turkey dinner, so maybe I'll be able to focus on the match at that point, and not on the what's waiting for me after the match. So yeah, no beverage on the go for this stream either. Hey, we have Q as player 1 on Winter Hideaway, a fairly neutral map, nothing too scary or dangerous about it in terms of units, or in terms of like mobility limitations. So this is kind of like I mean, both players with the same box. This is kind of like Fox versus Fox on Final Destination match. Yeah, exactly, Bites. No Jace in the box, so no real need to no real need to account for him. Yang, thank you for the ad griping. I know the pre-roll ads, I think this is like the first, because I just started the stream, so this is probably going to drop at the same time for everyone. But fortunately, we know Pick and Ban is going to last like 10 minutes, so I don't think you'll need to worry about missing too much. Once you get back from your ad, you'll see one pick and one ban. Yeah. Thank you for the follow also, Misha. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Miko. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, Byte knows one of the two solutions for the Twitch ad problem. The preferred one, obviously, is subscribing. So if any of you have, like, you know, Amazon Prime subscriptions and haven't used your free sub on Twitch, they all come with a free sub. For whatever reason, I guess Amazon's trying to push Twitch. Makes sense. Go ahead and drop that on old Mr. Kong, you know. I'm always here for some reliable Apex coverage for you, whether it's my own matches, playoffs, sometimes waifu wars if Ozma's not around, and just other weird stuff on Twitch as well. I love it. It's fun to just hang with you guys in the chat. Okay, so we are going to have both players deploying Celica. That leads to lots of potentially scary combos, which I think both these players are definitely experienced enough to nip in the bud. So, I mean, Emir, always scary. Definitely don't usually see him last beyond second or third ban. And now we have a mirror match shaping up, both with Sovereign of the Ice, both with Celica. Both players playing the current meta tanks, so Lightbringer, Tyrantel, and Christiane. Jayden banning one of those. Basically, he's going to force a Q tank pick here if he wants to play with one. He's got to pick one now, or else risk Jayden banning them out. Basically, call his bluff. Jayden may not want to ban out both remaining tanks, but it basically makes Q make a decision. Yakabamis, I think they have identical boxes, which kind of makes sense for this stage of the game. We're also entering an interesting era where we're seeing Isolde last until 4th and 5th pick in almost every game here. Virelia's also thrown into the mix. Virelia, potentially scary character, although a lot of the matches I've covered, she's been around 4th, 5th pick as well, sometimes left up. So it really has to be the strategy, like the style of game you intend to play against your opponent to make Virelia worth it. We saw it kind of not work out well for Keu-taru yesterday, when he was up against a tank bust comp and opted to bring the Virelia instead of Tyrantel. Virelia not really doing much in that comp, or that win con for Keu-taru, so yeah. We may see some Virelias here, just because it looks like these players are opting to go potentially a little bit light on healing, potentially a little bit light on tanking. So you saw Q there picking the Eshin instead of the tank, basically calling Jayden's bluff, and Jayden continued banning out DPS. Not really interested in playing against a tankless Q at this point. Yeah, Vermilion's going back and double-checking his read of the pick-ban box situation here. I often get into that trouble when I'm playing matches. I'll be counting tanks, and I'll miss one. And I'm like, okay, I can make a tank ban here, and then I'm like, there's a secret hidden tank somewhere. But SP Lanford, interesting to see, largely out of boxes for the past few rounds. It's really only the true believers who kind of like him as a character or like him as a unit who are keeping him in. Christian just kind of outclasses him in terms of tanking. Hey, Hyper Poggers, welcome to the chat. What a great name for a YouTube chatter, by the way. So yeah, Q gets his choice of a tank for 5th pick. And Jayden has potentially a tank left? Well, he doesn't really need one because he's already secured his Christian. Player 2, Nemia. Okay, interesting. So Q grabs the Lightbringer, Jayden immediately grabs the Lightbringer Slayer. We saw this Apotheosis do some very heavy lifting against Keu-taru yesterday. That said, I don't think that Q's account is going to be in the same condition, or that Q's Lightbringer is going to be in the same condition that Keu-taru's was yesterday. So let's see if Jayden can get up to his old tricks again. Shadowed Light, welcome to the chat. Good to have you here. Yeah, Bite, I think it's a little bit early for me to say whether I think Virelia is overrated or not, just because I haven't really had the chance to see properly, fully built 6-star Virelias in action in games that I've been playing. Obviously, we're seeing really good players here play them or ban them. But I'm like a... what do you call that when you're like a hands-on learner? I learn best. I gain Apex experience the most from playing Apex. So once Virelias have blown me up a few times or failed to blow me up a few times, that's when I get a proper gauge of how she works. Surprised none of them are using Zerida. Yeah, I don't know. I think Zerida might be in the side box. But she is kind of a niche, like, strategy-specific type of character as well. The boxes that they've got here are really kind of generalist, very versatile boxes. Each of the characters in there can mostly be used in a couple situations, so a little bit easier for pick ban. For Game 2, we may see some side boxes get pulled up. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Bubblegum Balls. Alright, let's take a look at what we've got here. We have some butterflies on a Lightbringer, on Eshin. Fairly standard. Big Bad Fall, welcome to the stream. Yeah, first time chatter. Sounds like you're here rooting for Seven Heaven's side. Okay, we also have a butterfly over here on Apotheosis. With the AoE Apotheosis again. the double AoE Sovereign. Gonna have to wait for Q to stop with his multiple actions before we get a full look at Jayden's team. So, we are getting the Celica revive on Sovereign of the Ice. To me, that looks like she's planning on going in. Maybe not immediately, but soon. Alright, and we have Butterfly on Christian as well. I like that. I like Butterfly. So remember, Sovereign can bring Lightbringer with her. So Q could end up with a chunk of his team parked in Jayden's face. But he has to be confident that his Lightbringer is going to be able to tank Apotheosis. Hey Rice Crew, welcome to the chat. Alright, we're getting the same kind of situation that Jayden played against Keu-gang yesterday, stacking up this Apotheosis with buffs, including Celica's Revive. And remember, we watched Keu-gang's Andriole struggle to get through 3 Apotheosis lives. So let's see how Q stares down the barrel of this super buffed up multiple Revive Apotheosis. It's coming. It's coming. Oh, why don't I throw a poll up while we're just in the early phases of this game? Who will be the new champ? You? Hey, poll is live on the Twitch side. Nemia throwing some preparatory tiles down out in front of the team here. That's interesting, and it does kind of make me scared of a big incoming rush. Yeah, I don't bet in the finals, Hugo. Let's get a poll going on the YouTube side. The default options for who will be the new champ are yes and no. Let's change those. Alright, YouTubers, go to town. Let us know what you think. And I agree, Cobra. I would like to see a closer match than yesterday. I like Keu-gang, I like Saint-Jacques, who I believe was playing the account, and it was a little sad. I mean, I don't mind if one of the players wins 2-0. But I'd like them to be, like, real scrappy grudge matches. Which, with this pick ban and these 2 boxes, it definitely has the potential to be. I'd really like not to see one or the other player get totally blown out. Thank you for the follow, Big Bad Fall. Got a little bit of a follower hype train going here. I think I met my follower goal. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, Shadowed Light, is, well, we saw that Jayden really relied heavily on his Apotheosis yesterday. So, I mean, he definitely wants his ham to go ham. This may very well be a ham-worthy ham. Yeah, Bite, I don't think that's super controversial. All of Jayden's eggs are in his Apotheosis basket at this point. This is one of the things we like to see about Christian, is she's a super mobile tank, immediately claiming both territory in mid, but also positioning for the rest of his units to come up and be relatively safe nearby. Is Kirika worth pulling? No, not really. Like Byte says, if you're a waifu collector, or if you're a collab fan, if you're a fan of Shining Resonance, or if you're just like an overall collector and don't want to have any missing characters on your account, those are the main reasons to pull for Kirkia or Sonya nowadays. Sonya sees a brief window in Apex Arena when she gets her casting passive that she is useful, but I think she returns to getting outclassed pretty soon after that, so I don't really think it's worth it to build her just for that. Kirkia can be fun in PvE, but like that's not really a compelling enough reason to summon for a whole ass unit. Creamy worried that Jayden's overextending, Celica will never catch up. Yeah, I mean, Celica... I think Jayden, his strategy here is that he doesn't really care if Celica catches up. He wants to send his units in, particularly these two, and try to end things right away. Like, Celica can do some healing from far away for a couple turns, so, I mean, if it takes her a couple turns to get back into the mix, I don't think he needs her, like, right in there for his win con. Basically, if Apotheosis comes in here and kills this Lightbringer, and then he starts blending Q's team up, it doesn't matter if Celica's in there or not. And if that plan doesn't work, then it probably also doesn't matter if Celica's in there or not. We'll see, though. We'll see if Jayden's strategy works. I kind of like the all eggs in the ham basket strategy, though. I like Apotheosis as a unit, so seeing him get used like this is very entertaining. Yeah, and remember, like, Jayden is about to bring the rest of his team, well, these two units, up to Christian with him. Maybe not. No reason to risk the Sovereign to do a forward pull, I guess. If he has enough reach with his mobility as it is. Okay. Doesn't want to risk exposing Sovereign to, like, Andy, for example. Yeah, basically Huron. He's playing God Mode Godham. Apotheosis has achieved Apotheosis for a reason. Well, yeah, Kabame's one of the reasons that Apotheosis is seeing more play lately is because he combos well with Bright Summoner, who's the new, like, shiny, fancy unit du jour. So, it's timely to bring him back, and people are having fun with the combo and enjoying it. Hey, thanks for the sub, Big Bad. Keeping old Kong streams going here. Although, this is kind of looking dodgy connection-wise. Not sure what was going on there, but we were starting to struggle a little bit. Well, thank you for the support, and happy Thanksgiving, fellow Canadian. I wonder if Jayden was sending some packets, trying to DDoS the streamer instead of his opponent by accident. Yes, Sovereign of the Ice is the first LLR, BS is the second. Okay, Apotheosis is coming up to join Christian tank. He'll hang out there for now, until next turn. Bubblegum, you mean Bright Summoner? Yeah, she's worth it. She's awesome. Just check out Should You Summon, man. She's going to be in everyone's PvP boxes for a while. I think she's fun in PvE. She does a lot of just fun, like, team support healing. She's not as, like, invincible of a healer as, like, Rosenseal, for example. Rosen, you just bring her with your team, and then you never have to worry about getting hurt. Bright Summoner's not quite that powerful, but she does do some other interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't think Jayden wants to charge all the way, like, you know, send his units into their doom. Keu's playing a little bit safer here, making Jayden move away from his central tank position if he wants to initiate. He's also spread out a bit more than Kutaru was. Love Mountain Dew giving us a Warsong history lesson in the chat. I'm an OG Warsong enjoyer, which is the whole reason I even started playing this mobile game. Kabame's, that decision is really made by what you want to do with her. I think for most purposes, Nightbloom is a no-brainer weapon for her, except for the one very specific use case of if you want to use her in PvP as a turn 1 rush unit. In her mage class, you put Scepter of Divinity on, but for most players, Nightbloom's going to be the correct answer. Okay, the poll just ended on Twitch, and the answer over there, Keu is going to defeat Jayden. 57% of people on Twitch believe that Keu will be the winner. YouTube poll is still going, and it is pretty close as well, although with Jayden coming out on top on the YouTube side. So this is a very evenly split game, even in terms of viewer betting. Hey, welcome Zilla, nice. Glad you could make it on time. You actually made it just in time for the interesting stuff to start. The game has been pick and ban and then a little bit of jockeying for position, but you are here ready for the fireworks. Alright, Celica does not want that Sovereign to be under 100% HP, so heals up from that little Nemia pop. Thanksgiving pizza was delicious, thank you. You can probably tell from my screen decoration that we've got a proper Thanksgiving meal coming up after these matches. And if this ham goes ham enough, I may actually opt for ham instead of turkey. Make it a real full ham-themed day. Mountain Dew, you used to leave your Genesis on all the time for weeks on end. I remember doing that for Ogre Battle. I left my Super Nintendo on. Not for weeks on end, but like the battles in Ogre Battle were so long that I remember I would have to like go to my grandmother's house for some family gathering on the weekend, and I'd be like halfway in the middle of an Ogre Battle, so I'd just leave it on all day until I could come back and play again. Oh man, you better believe there's going to be some maple smoked ham on the go for sure. Okay, so one thing I find interesting about these high-rank Apex matches we've been seeing this season are both players are fairly evenly using up all their backup time. So we're not at a proper engagement yet, And we're already down to like a minute of backup time left for both players. Although, I guess once the fireworks start, there's less of a need for your backup time in terms of planning. But once things start getting chaotic, if you're low on backup time... Okay, here we go. Apotheosis is coming in. This is Jayden's big ticket here. Monstrous Apotheosis. He does get an attack buff. Goes ahead and AoEs. Keu definitely benefiting from the Mass Crystal Healing, but we do have Demon, Sovereign, and a Demon Eshin. Oh, did he? Yeah, it looks like it was Andy. That's a really good lose control roll for Jayden. Okay, Apotheosis loses one of his lives. Andy's partnered on Sovereign. Okay, so Jayden literally has no follow-up on the go anywhere. So he just has to kind of weather a little bit of a storm here. We're gonna have some remote healing. Actually, no, we're not, because she killed off the Celica life, so he's no longer tethered to Celica. Okay, auto battle Andy does manage to take the second Apotheosis life. Jayden, though, with turn priority, so he's going to have the opportunity to do something with his Apotheosis. If he wants. Yeah, he's going to run back. Try to keep him safe. That said, Keu can actually control his own Andy now. So he can't quite reach to be within range of Sovereign and Guard Ignore yet, unless he sends Sovereign up a little bit closer. Or kills her, which he definitely doesn't want to do because he has his Celica Revive stacked on her. Jayden also running low on backup time now. He doesn't really like how that Apotheosis charge played out, I don't think. Moving Lightbringer up here is a way for him to get Sovereign into closer positions so that Andy can start Guard Ignoring up here. Nemia, not enough to take off an Andy life. Yeah, we should see Sovereign AoE from right here. Perfect spot for that. Nice burst damage. Frozen Nemia doesn't really matter. Nemia is kind of a non-factor at this point. The old butterflies put in a little bit of anti-freeze work there. Holy smokes, Creamy. 12 tickets on Jayden in the finals. Now that's a bet. He was the underdog in odds, too, so I bet you've got your fingers crossed. Not looking great for Jayden in this match. No backup time left. His threat largely neutralized in the middle here. He's definitely throwing Nemia under the bus. Like I said, she's not really needed anymore. That said, Apotheosis, no lives left. And he is within range of Andy Guard Ignore, if Andy could reach. Wow, Vermilion 12 tickets on Jayden as well. I have to scroll back up to see how many Buffy put. Oh, Buffy put 6 on Q. Okay, here comes this Andy. Sure enough. R.I.P. Apotheosis. Okay, so Jayden is going to be relying heavily on ice to put something together here now. We got multiple AoEs on this ice. We did see Apotheosis AoE not really make a dent in Q's team, so he may not be super worried about that. We've got good incidental healing from Lightbringer, from Eshin, and obviously good full healing from Celica. Eshin just rag-procking that frozen Nemia down. Well, Spirit Chaser, I mean, one game is one game. And, you know, at the top end of the Apex spectrum, one game's not a nail in the coffin, necessarily. Q with a nice, decently healthy team up front here. Okay, Jayden's gonna try to make something happen. Jayden still with turn priority, so he will be able to act first with his Sovereign next turn if he wants to do that. So there's one AoE. Throws some freeze down. And he still has access to his second AoE as well. So Celica largely going to be looking to heal off as much of this as she can. Which she should be able to do fairly comfortably. Picks up Prayer for next turn. Okay. I mean, Andy has Butterfly, but he's still gonna get frozen here. That move is mainly to get the revive back on ice before Q manages to put something together with his Andy here. I'm not exactly sure where auto subtitles are for currently ongoing YouTube streams. Yeah, Jayden didn't like the way that ended. Okay. Auto subtitles are usually automatically on for any of the VODs that come from these streams. Fights, you're going to bed? You've seen enough after one game? Thanks for stopping by anyway. I'm sure you'll see from bed who the champion ended up being. Okay, so game 1 goes to Keu. Electric, BIS mainly for... Well, I mean, it really depends. I think they would choose their gear based on who they're going up against. And you might not have been as worried about getting pulled around. That's the main thing Electric is for. It's especially important for turtle teams, because they need to make sure they're hugging their multiple tanks at all times. No one is playing SP Leon anymore because he's not very good. He has a couple maps that he's good for, like a pure rush team. But these guys are playing balanced teams, so Leon may be in their side box, but I doubt it. Alright, so Jayden opts to go second and brings up... He's banishing his failed Apotheosis Anemia from last game. Brings up Liana and Lost Him. This is a nice map for Lost Him. He does have some new tech available to him, and obviously we keep talking about how valuable Liana is as player 2. So that's a good pickup. And this Nemia for Jace substitute is purely map-based. Nemia is fine on this map, but she doesn't get any like map-specific advantages from water all over the place, whereas Jace has a lot of terrain to teleport to on this map, so it's a very nice Jace map. Other than that, I expect to see pick ban go relatively similar in terms of priorities to Game 1. Can you change her class after you lock her pick in? No, you cannot change anyone's class during an Apex game. So you have to choose if you want to be Holy or Mage based on your overall strategy going into Apex, like before you even load in. Bubblegum Balls asks, is Kaguya any good? Just pulled her trying to get the new LLR. Kaguya, some people are Kaguya enjoyers, like Cecil H, who is, I believe I saw him over in the YouTube chat. He's kind of one of the first Kaguya enjoyers. She's kind of, you know, an AoE-focused mage. In the right team, she does AoE mage stuff. I don't really have her built or use her for anything. In PvE, you know, you can use most modern mages to do the same kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, she has interesting, unique mechanics, so if you're interested in doing different mechanical-related stuff with her cards, she can keep you interested for sure. Jace is the Season 18 Illustrial. Can't not mention Ozma. Yeah, Ozma is a more recent Kaguya enjoyer. But Ozma plays a very specific kind of box, not just in Waifu Wars, but even in normal ladder. Cecil as well. They're both more tank-reliant type players. So those are the kinds of boxes that she excels in. You're not typically going to see just random Kaguyas out there in meta boxes. And with that, the Jace is banned, so we're going to be fighting, or Jayden's going to be fighting against the same old Keu that he did in Game 1. We've even got 2 of the 5 same picks so far. Same over here. Is it possible that we're going to see an exact repeat of the first game? No, because Jayden dropped 2 of his DPS from last game. So at the very least, Jayden's going to be forced to play something different. Oh man. Big Bad dropping the bits. I think that puts you in first place for bits now. I'll have to start a bit goal just so we can see your name up there. Yeah, Q also banning out the Christian this time. That's going to force Jayden to make a decision about his tank. Tank versus no tank situation. Yeah, no dedicated healer for Q's side does make, like, Virelia a more appealing late pick. Dank Elmo dangerous as well. Yeah, see, Q reacting to that by getting rid of the Virelia. Dank threatening. Andy's always dangerous, but Lost Him could potentially be dangerous here as well. Jayden remembering that that Lightbringer was on Butterfly, banning her out. So if Q wants a tank, it's got to be Tyrantel. Well, we're not seeing any Virelia nukes in this game. Maybe in Game 3. Q may be tempted to try to do something similar to what Jayden's done in the last 3 games, and bring an anti-Lightbringer Apotheosis to bear. I think the safer pick is just Tyrantel. Oh, we're gonna go full aggro mode Q. Oh, here we go. With no dedicated healer, no tank. Scary Sovereign, Eshin, AO, Andy. Andy and AO, still a legit pairing. We do have an Act Again here as well. And a Scary Apotheosis. So Jayden has a tank, which is a bit of a double-edged sword. Like, it's good in the sense that maybe it helps you survive a couple hits against, I guess, the Apotheosis Initiation or the first Eshin charge. On the other hand, it means you have 1 fewer DPS, actually 2 fewer DPS, if Q comes in hot and heavy and you have to start trading down. Q's going to have a couple spare units to keep hitting your team with. A Gold Magistrate, Q is going to make me rich. Aren't you already rich from yesterday? Oh good, Big Bad, you are the Bits Leader. You get your little Bits Leader name tag there. Love to see it. Second match is going to be nuts. Vermilion's got his popcorn out, open and ready. Okay, Gold Magistrate won 1.6 mil yesterday. How many tickets do you have on Q today? Sounds like 6 tickets on Q, man. Oh, I was checking messages on Concord, and it turns out it's mostly people talking about that new Metaphor game. Alright, what do we got this time? Attack Break, Apotheosis, with AoE. Also on Butterfly. Butterfly on the Eshin. Butterfly on the Andy. We have a number of butterflies in between these whale accounts. Hi Miko with 12 tickets on queue. Oh, saved them all up for the finals to go all out. Okay, lost him. It looks like grabs a damage down. Potentially attack down? No, it's damage down. Mobility down on the Sovereign. Thank you for the follow, Lethal Coconut. Welcome to the stream. I love your name. Almost any coconut can be lethal in the right circumstances. Is Applesauce still napping since yesterday? Yes, she is. She is right back there. And Old Beans is right here, too. The reason I don't have the Dobercam set up is because I was setting up my stream yesterday, and let's look over the rest of Jayden's units while we're over here. So it's full single target with Wind Slash. Yeah, I was setting up my stream yesterday, and my tripod that I usually use for the Dobercam, one of the clips on the legs snapped off, so now the tripod is a bipod and does not stand up on its own. So I have to now save up and get a new tripod for the studio before we have any more Dobercam videos. I was debating just like plugging my camera in and hand-holding Dobercam footage, so every once in a while I'd just point this over at the Dobes. But I didn't have time to make improv-y adjustments like that. I'm just going to save up for a new tripod, and when I get one, we'll be back on the Dobercam train. That's one of the things that your support on these channels helps me with, is my tripod that I was using was literally like 35 years old. It was my dad's old tripod. He used to do home videos. He had like one of those big old school like camcorders, you know, like looked like a TV camera. So I took the tripod off that. And obviously being extremely, extremely old and made of plastic, didn't last as long as I would. So yeah, all of your bits, Big Bad Fall, and all the subs and prime subs over on the Twitch side, that stuff all adds up to helping keep my gear in new pristine condition. These troops on this AO, those are just sorceresses. They got little bluebird skin. It came out around the same time as that marching band T-Jess skin, which also has little bluebirds, so they look pretty good together. Yes, Rice Crew, exactly. It will be our tripod. Just like everything else. All of these streams belong to all of us. You know, it's not just me sitting here. The streams are just as much you as they are me. In fact, they're more you, because without you being here, it would just be raving lunatic Kong talking to the wall alone. Can I buy you a sub sandwich? Theoretically I could. Theoretically I could. But not on Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll save a little bit of turkey or ham for you and share it with you in Concord after tonight. Trusty old stack of books. Yes, that's a good point, Zilla. I do have a sizable library of books. I'd have to take them all off my shelves and stack them up. Big Bad Fall's going nuts with the bit spending. He wants to pad his lead to make sure he stays number one. Kabames, the winners don't get to choose the unit for the Apex skin. The Apex skin is already set in stone. It was set in stone 6 months ago by Zilong and the Chinese champions. So whatever Apex skin is scheduled for this season, that's the skin that the winner's name is going to go on. Hi Miko probably knows better than me, because she runs the Banner News server, which the Season 18 champ skin is. The Lightbringer skin, eh? Which one's the Lightbringer skin? Let me bring that up. Where are you at, Lightbringer? So the EOL is the Explorer skin. Pirate skin was Lotto. So the Lightbringer skin is this, like... Oh, it's kind of like a musical skin? Like, yeah, that looks like an Apex Champion skin. That's fine, that's a fine skin. For anyone who doesn't like the pirate look on her. Yeah, the champion skins you get with skin tickets or skin vouchers, and you are correct, Big Bad Fall, they do not, the champions do not get to choose the character. Yeah, this is quite a nice ice setup, isn't it? So both these players playing a little bit more careful here. I mean, Q has to be fairly careful with positioning, just knowing that he has no tank. So when Jayden decides to strike, it's a question of who's gonna die. There's also no Celica for extra revives, so he's basically just got the built-in revives on the Apotheosis, the Andy, the Eshin. So act again on this ice. Is a deterrent for Jayden to overextend. Jayden decides to come in, Q's gonna have a unit left over to answer it. How many skin tickets do you have, Paimiko? Because those skins are just coming to China now, like next week. And 99% chance they're not gonna come to global when this update reaches us. The, like the KFC skin, that's clearly a collab, and as with all collabs, Zilong has to sign licensing agreements for China and global separately, and if we didn't get those collabs the first time they ran, the chances of them signing, like, new licensing agreements for global that didn't exist before, fairly small. So I wouldn't hold out too much hope, but definitely keep some skin tickets in reserve, just in case, just in case. But I'm not holding out too much hope, personally. Yeah, Rice Crew, China has had a KFC collab skin for like the past 4 years. It's hilarious. Go look at the Banner News website, go to Liana and cycle through her skins and you can see it there. Okay. Q, dropping Apotheosis up here on the fort. No transform, so no revive yet. Q not really worried about anything one-shotting that. Maybe there were other joke KFC skins, like I think someone made a Colonel Sanders skin. That's definitely a joke. But there is a legit Liana KFC skin that's not a joke. I think the Sophia one is a collab with some ramen joint, and the Narm Maid skin that everyone's been clamoring for since year 1 is actually a collab as well, which I think is the reason we never got it in global even all the way back then. I forget who it's a collab with, but it's with some, like, cafe in China. So yes, everything happens, or in this case doesn't happen, for Global for a reason. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if you could necessarily call that bait, because... Well, I mean, I guess the Lostum could reach, but Lostum with CP accessory doesn't go through Butterfly. I think what Q's really setting up for is a scary next turn. Okay, here comes Dank. Pulled ahead onto a fortress, which is slightly unfortunate for Q, but well out of guard range. Let's see if Ice gets... No, she doesn't, because of the last strike or whatever. So that's just an easy pickings at Ankelmo, down the drain. Dankelmo! I mean, that's sad when you only have 2 DPS, right? Because Jayden only has these to make something happen with now. Well, we've also got some Frost on this Lostum, which Jayden's got to be unhappy about. Meanwhile, Q still has 5 scary DPS. I mean, Adankelmo, with her portals already up, she was kind of not as important as Lostum or Ice, but you would have really liked to have her able to kill something before she dropped off the board. Yeah, I mean, really, you can say what you will about the Ice, but Q's just playing the positioning game in this match masterfully. Okay, here comes the Lostum v not stunnable Apotheosis. Yeah, he does break the last rites, but on Fortress, with these stats, that Lostum's not doing anything. That Lostum's not doing anything. Okay, Sauce, that's probably enough, buddy. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, that's enough. We're gonna stop doing that. So, yep, back to what we were saying. Oh, there's Applesauce right there. Look at her. Tiny little cute dope. Back to what we were saying at the very start of this match when Lostum was subbed up. With his new tech, his new center passive, his new potentially accessory with that space compass or whatever it's called, it does allow him to get some sneaky stuns, but not against butterfly units. And those sneaky stuns are kind of only useful if it's not against giant stat fortress wall apotheosis. Really, all that bait did was leave Lostum out of guard range. Easy kill. Apotheosis is now up in your grill with his revive. And this ice is now uncontrollable. Really bad sequence of actions for Jayden here. Rice Drew, what are you doing redeeming hydrate when I don't have my beverage with... Oh, come on. Fine, I'll go all the way over to my studio fridge. So. Q can pretty much pull the trigger on the rest of his actions here if he wants. I mean, he can also hang back. The fact that Jayden has lost 2 of his DPS for free even if Apotheosis dies? Like, Jayden could potentially... Oh, he doesn't even have Discipline on his Lightbringer. I was gonna say, he could potentially come down, maybe kill Apotheosis so that an auto attack from... Oh, she had it cleansed. Oh, it wasn't undispellable. Okay, so maybe Jayden takes the Apotheosis, the 2 Apotheosis lives. One with Sovereign, one with Lightbringer. But still, that's like 1 out of 5 Q DPS in exchange for 2 out of 3 of your own DPS. This trade situation is... definitely still not looking in Jayden's favor. Andy moving up to get into position. He's just like salivating. Andy's like, yes, kill him. Kill the Apotheosis. That will be a fully activated Andy with an act again. And he's getting into position for next turn to get ready to go. Okay, so there he is. Andy officially pissed off with an action. Jayden does have turn priority, so Andy can't exactly go all the way in right yet. But he's ready. He's ready for next turn. Yeah, Q's not in a rush. Q has Jayden significantly outnumbered. He really just has to make sure that Ice is not able to one-shot and pick off all 4 of these units. Lightbringer's not going to be doing it. I want to scroll back up and see those poll results. Okay. Yeah, it was really close. It was like 50-50 in voting if you count across both platforms. I think Jayden had the slight edge in viewer voting, maybe by like 1 or 2 votes. And Q had a significant edge in in-game betting. Just in terms of taking a temperature of expectations for the results of these matches. I'm not calling it yet just because anything can happen. You know, Q could get disconnected. Jayden could get some good RNG, put the next Celica 3C on herself, get Windblade and solo the rest of Q's team. That said, the fact that Andy has permanent guard ignore now does make things a little bit awkward for Jayden to even be able to move up. Q basically just has to pull the trigger on that and kill the rest of Jayden's units. That's it. Jayden also only 17 seconds of backup time. Hey now, I don't advocate any kind of tampering or interference in these matches. We take our lumps. I've definitely been disconnected from Apex games many times. Earlier in this season, remember there was that one weekend where I couldn't even keep a stream up? There was something going on with my ISP. I kept disconnecting in the middle of streams. And that was during Apex streams. So, oh yeah, that was at the end of the season. That was like the last weekend when I was playing I switched over to my Myth box on main. That was disappointing. We'll play more Myth at the start of the season this season. Yeah, thankfully, Hugo, I don't think we've ever seen any, like, really high-stakes, high-level game impacted by disconnections. We've definitely seen some playoff games impacted by disconnections, mostly in earlier rounds. But I can't remember any of that happening in finals or semifinals. Yeah, timer debuff's gonna be coming in hot and heavy here now. Alright, pulling the ice. We're gonna see the literal exact same play that we saw to kill the Adank Elmo. The only difference is this ice has extra lives. So there goes the Celica life. No more remote healing from Celica. And, yeah, no, that's it. I was gonna say, we still have an AO waiting in the wings to finish it off. So yeah, there you go. Yang called it. No electric headgear on those units, and then in Game 2, it comes into play multiple times in a row. So Keu with a very convincing 2-0 victory against the player who had a very convincing 2-0 victory in the semifinals against Q-Taru yesterday. And with that, we have Keu, 4-time Apex Arena season champion. So congrats to Keu. GG's indeed, everyone. GG's indeed. And Jayden Nelson, 7th Heaven, coming in with another second place finish to add to his strong record as well. So a couple second place finish, 1 champion. And we'll look to see Jayden bounce back strong again next season. Let's take a look at Keu's record. Champ, 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 champ. Nice. Yes, that's the second time that Jayden and Keu have faced each other in the finals. Keu coming out on top both times. With that said, my friends, as much as I would love to stick around and break down the results of all these games with you, I have a giant turkey and or ham dinner awaiting for me at Mrs. K's sister's place, and I'm going over there to mange that ASAP. What's my best Apex result? I think top 64. I think I usually bounce between like 64 and then getting knocked out in the first round. 64, getting knocked out in the first round. So yeah. There was this season in between where I didn't play, so I did not have an appearance in the playoffs at all that season because I was not doing anything. So that makes sense. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming out and supporting the stream with all your follows, subs, and just absolute wild bit spending. Thank you, Big Bad. Yeah, definitely feel free to subscribe and to follow, and of course also follow over on the YouTube side as well. I see you over there, my friends. The thing is, that support for the channel is immensely helpful in keeping me in new tripods, which are going to be much needed, and also keeping me in good spirits. Going to be starting up probably with normal Apex Arena regular season 19 ladder matches. Not next weekend because I'm going to be out of town. I'm traveling for work and then I'm traveling for a funeral. No one's super close to me, so don't worry about it. I'm okay. But I won't be here to stream Apex that week. The week after that, potentially I will be. I may be traveling that weekend as well, but I'm going to stream all my Apex matches just like I did last season. So every single match I played in Apex last season was here on stream with you. I'm going to do that again, and I'm also going to try to stream Free Kong in Apex in Bronze as well, because that was hilarious. So we're going to keep doing that again this season. Najin, yesterday was pizza day. Today is ham and or turkey day. But yes, good memory. Pizza, delicious Thanksgiving pizza. Yeah, okay, so that's my little conclusion speech. Thank you everyone for your support. I will catch you next season after probably like a week or two break. But even while I'm out, I'm still going to have my usual Should You Summon episode. That's going to be coming out this week in a couple days. I'm going to have my usual summoning stream for the new characters, Xion and Tiana. So even though I won't necessarily be here for weekend Apex streams, I will be here in your hearts. So I'll see you then. Thanks again, everyone. Happy Langrissing.